The Sahara of the Beaux-Arts, my bathtub hoax, and my translation of the Declaration of Independence into the American Vulgate have carried on a vigorous life for years, and I have therefore thought it worthwhile to give them one more embalming before consigning them to statistics and the devil. In general, I have made few changes in the original texts, and in consequence several thumpingly false prophecies and other howlers are preserved. But when it seemed to make for clarity, I have not hesitated to change the present tense into the past, and to omit repetitive and otherwise unnecessary passages. In all cases where I could determine it, I have given the date and place of original publication. My later books, for example, The American Language and its supplements, and the 3 Days books, are not represented, for all of them are still in print. For the same reason I have passed over The Artist, Christmas Story, and Treatise on the Gods, the last of which came out in a revised edition so recently as 1946. What the total of my published writings comes to, I don't know precisely, but certainly it must run well beyond 5 million words. A good deal of it, of course, was journalism, pure and simple, dead almost before the ink which printed it was dry. But I certainly do not regret that I gave so much of my time and energy, especially in my earlier years, to this journalism, for I had a swell time concocting it, and in its day it got some attention. Even in my later years, with wisdom radiating from me like heat from a stove, I have occasionally gone back to it, to my complete satisfaction and the apparent approval or horror of the customers. There is something delightful about getting an idea on paper while it is still hot and charming, and seeing it in print before it begins to pale and stale. My happiest days have been spent in crowded press stands, recording and belaboring events that were portentous in their day but are now forgotten. These recordings usually died with the events, but I am well aware as an old book reviewer that multitudes of books have died too, including many once gloated over as masterpieces. Those who explore the ensuing pages will find them marked by a certain ribaldry, even when they discuss topics commonly regarded as grave. I do not apologize for this, for life in the Republic has always seemed to me to be far more comic than serious. We live in a land of abounding quackeries, and if we do not learn how to laugh, we succumb to the melancholy disease which afflicts the race of viewers with alarm. I've had too good a time of it in this world to go down that chute. I have witnessed in my day the discovery, enthronement, and subsequent collapse of a vast army of uplifters and world-savers, and am firmly convinced that all of them were mountebanks. We produce such mountebanks in greater number than any other country, and they climb to heights seldom equaled elsewhere. Nevertheless, we survive, and not only survive, but also flourish. In no other country known to me is life as safe and agreeable, taking one day with another, as it is in these States. Even in a Great Depression, few if any starve, and even in a great war, the number who suffer by it is vastly surpassed by the number who fatten on it and enjoy it. Thus my view of my country is predominantly tolerant and amiable. I do not believe in democracy, but I am perfectly willing to admit that it provides the only really amusing form of government ever endured by mankind. Baltimore, H. L. Mencken. 1. Homo sapiens. The Life of Man. From Prejudices, 3rd Series, 1922, pages 120 to 132. First printed in the Smart Set, October 1918, pages 80 to 81. The old anthropomorphic notion that the life of the whole universe centers in the life of man, that human existence is the supreme expression of the cosmic process, this notion seems to be happily on its way toward the Sheol of exploded delusions. The fact is that the life of man, as it is more and more studied in the light of general biology, appears to be more and more empty of significance. Once apparently the chief concern and masterpiece of the gods, the human race now begins